All right, so if you're here, you are looking at the 824 practice, which is more on decimals with geometry and expressions. Okay, once you're done with this one today and you've turned it in, hopefully you've looked over this video, feel pretty good about these things. There is a quick exit ticket that will be a grade in PowerSchool for you to do. You do have to upload the work on that one as well in order to receive credit for that. Okay, it's just a quick one, has like 2 or 3 questions on it. All right, so here we go. First one was the perimeter of this pentagon. This is not a regular pentagon. It has 5 sides, but not all of them are the same. So we just basically need to add them up. Okay, so, oh, I don't know that I remember to export this guy. Let me export him real quick. Send a copy to Notability. It won't take real long. Sorry about that. And okay, here it is. Okay, so we have 2.24 plus 2.24. Let's do that one. And then we have 3.65, 3.65, and we have 2.57. You can stack a whole bunch of them when you add, not a problem, as long as you're careful. 4, 8, then we have 13, 18, 25, 2, 4, 6, 12, 18, 23. Line up your decimals when you add 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 14. So if I calculated correctly here, which I think I did, all right, we should have 14.35 meters. And we're just adding up the sides because it's perimeter. All right, second one, shrink this down. Got to make that noise when you shrink it down there. All right, singles tennis court is a rectangle that's 23.77 meters long and 8.23 meters wide. How long are the lines that go around the outside of this court? So I said, draw the court first and label it. Really, you should do that anytime there's not a picture. Okay. And if you're like, why don't we just use feet? Because that's a whole number. Too bad. We're doing decimals right now. So there you go. Okay. Now, the thing is, we have 8.23 on this side and 23.77 on the other side. How do we know? Because it's a rectangle, and that's what rectangles do, right? Now, I will tell you that on this one, we have the whole 2 lengths and 2 widths thing, but you can add the length and the width together first and then multiply by 2. Yeah, that's going to be a lot easier on this one, okay? Because 23.77 plus 8.23 is actually going to give you a nice whole number. So we're going to take that, and then we're going to multiply that by 2. So that's going to give us, when we add 2377 plus 823, you should have gotten 32 even on that. All right. So that means now you just got to multiply that guy times 2, 32 times 2, and you're going to get 64. All right. So 64 meters is your number 2 on this one. Okay, now that was easy enough. This next one, however, is not easy enough. Okay. So we got, you're gonna paint this tennis court with the dimensions that we have there. What is the area that has to be painted round to the nearest hundred? And you're like, yuck, why are you making me do that many digits? I know, I don't like doing it either. I'm very, very sorry. So 23.77 times 8.23. All right, 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 7 is 21, and 2 is 23. 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 is 11. 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 is 7. And why did I bring that? I don't even know why I did that. So if you're like, why the crap did you put the decimal there? I don't know why I did that. I wasn't thinking. All right. So now I'm gonna get rid of these guys to not confuse you. Second row, we need a 0. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 7 is 14, and 1 is 15. 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. And 2 times 2 is 4. Hooray, one more row. Skip 2 zeros this time. 0, 0. So 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 7 is 56 again, plus 5 is 61. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 6 is 30. And 8 times 2 is 16, plus 3 is 19. Okay. Now, let's shrink this down. Again, making that noise. Very important. All right. So let's add these up. We have 1, 7. We have 6 and 6 is 12. 1 and 7 is 8, 15, 16. 1 and 4 is 5. And then a 9 and a 1. And in our problem, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. So we need to put 4 in our answer. So the area is going to be painted, rounded to the nearest hundredth. That 7 is going to tell our 2 to go up. So we're going to have 195.63, because the 7 tells the 2 to go up to the 3, square meters. All right. All right, next one. If you wanted to estimate approximately how much paint it would take to paint the court and rounded the length and the widths to the nearest whole number, about what area would have to be painted. So let's say I rounded the 2377 to 24 and the 8.23 to 8. 4 times 8 is 32. 8 times 2 is 16, and 3 is 19. So part of the reason I wanted you to see that is if you got some answer that's like nowhere close to that on number 3, you should be able to see that doesn't make sense. Let me figure out what I did wrong. Okay. So that's the idea. That's pretty close. So how different was the estimate of the area from the actual area? So, and again, don't put something like a little bit different. No. Okay. So how different is it? That means we're going to subtract those last two questions. 195.63 minus 192. Line up the decimal here. There's not one. Yeah, but it's at the end, remember? So then that's a 3, that's a 6, that's a 3. This was only 3.63 meters squared off with the estimate. Not very far. All right. Now, on this next one, some of y'all probably are like, man, that's too many words, right? It's really not that hard. Xavier and Lillian are arguing about a math problem involving the rectangle below. You see it? There it is. Xavier argues to find the perimeter of the rectangle, you must use this formula, since there's 2 lengths and 2 widths. But Lillian wants to use the formula P equals 2 times length plus width. But you know, you can do it both ways. So we're going to do it Xavier's way on the left and Lillian's way on the right. You should get the same answer because the expressions are equivalent. So that kind of checks yourself on that. 2, know that one of the things I'm going to do on the unit test is I'm going to make sure that I have some questions where things are written different ways, and you got to recognize that they're the same. All right, so here we have P equals 2 times 15.2 plus 2 times 8.7. Okay, 2 times 15.2. You can do that over on the side there. That's going to be 30.4. And then 2 times 8.7, I'm not mistaken, should be something like 15.4. Let me check, though. All right. No, sorry, 17.4. Good thing I did it. All right, 17.4. Wasn't thinking clearly again. So then 30.4 plus 17.4. Line up the decimals and add. You're going to get 47.8. And that is feet. All right. Now, if we did that right, then we should get the same thing for Lillian's. So she's going to take 2, and she's going to add the 2 numbers first. 15.2 plus 8.7, and then she's just going to multiply them by 2 afterwards. So 15.2 plus 8.7, that's going to be a 9. And that's going to be 5 and 8 is 13. 1 and 1 is 2. Bring the decimal straight down. 23.9. So we're going to do 2 times 23.9. All right. 2 and then 23.9. 23.9 times 2. And we don't care what the decimal is yet. 2 times 9 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 1 place in the problem, for 1 in the answer. Therefore, the answer is 47.8. So we just proved that both of those ways do the same thing, which was our goal. There we go. The end. So turn that in.